one of those super easy things to go live because we're live now and all it is a conversation, Trinidad. See how easy it is? And for my friend, what?
For you, it's certainly easy. I'm learning, but I'm trainable.
That's right. That's right. That's what I love about you. And for those friends of mine who are joining in, thank you. We're going to introduce you to Trinidad III. He's a veteran friend of mine. Amazing story. And right now he's in his factory in LA and he's making masks. And right now he's in a mask. So we're going to walk out to the factory in a bit. But I just want to introduce my friends right now to you, Trinidad. And I want to jump into your story. And for people who are going to watch this on the replay, they can listen. But as people are joining in, I just want to thank you for stepping up and stepping up to the call in many ways. Number one, to make the mask, but number two, to be bold. And this is your first live broadcast on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yes, first time.
So I feel like my friends in here will encourage you and tell you I don't bite. This is going to be as easy as anything. And for my friends who are watching this and you're thinking about going live or thinking about getting on an interview and doing a show, whether it's a news reporter, like these days, everyone is joining even traditional news stations via Skype or via live or via what we're using, which is StreamYard, which is an awesome live streaming platform. And we have an awesome guy, Rich here. He's saying he made it. He's one of the best supporters of the show. So he came just to support you, Trinidad, and show you some love.
Oh. Yeah. Thanks, Rich. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So thank you, Rich. Love when you come and you support the show. And if you want to drop a comment or anyone else who's joining us, drop a comment and tell Trinidad how easy it is to go live or to do videos. Let's see. Chad Trower just joined. Deb's. Thanks. Deb's are the best. I should just show the comment and then read it as I. Didn't think about what would happen if you didn't get your message out. Yes. And then Veronica, she's here from Texas and she says, thank you for your service, Trinidad.
Oh, it's an honor. You're welcome.
My beautiful friend from Texas. Oh, it looks like everyone is joining up. Good. So I'm going to wait to introduce you a bit, Trinidad. We're going to say hi to everyone that's joining in to show you support. Rich says, is Doc's going to support our Marines? Is Doc's am I reading that right? But yes, gotta support our Marines is what I get from that, Rich. Yes, thank you. And let's see, Susie. Oh, I love her. And the great calling. Hey, Deb, Matt Stefanik. Hey, Matt, how are you? Thanks for coming on, Trinidad. See, you've got friends already, Trinidad.
That's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming on and taking a moment here to break me into this live broadcast. I feel like it's my live boot camp. So I'm really excited.
I feel like it's going to be a little easier than boot camp, but maybe, I don't know. I don't think I'm as tough as your sergeant. And Cristobal is joining. He says, you got this, Trinidad. And actually, we might be able to bring Cristobal in later because right when the crisis happened and every business owner was pivoting, especially in the manufacturing, I was on a call with him. I was actually on a live and he was talking about he has it's like a sleeping bag. And if you could tell me in the comments, Cristobal, what it's called, but it's like this sleeping bag, like cozy, where, like you get in it and it's a sleeping bag you can actually sleep in. And things stopped because, of course, everything came to a screeching halt. And I talked to him about you and I wanted to introduce you to. So now there you go. There's the introduction. Maybe we could bring Cristobal in because you are actually making your jeans and your T-shirts in America, right? So you were able to continue the factory until recently when everyone said, yes, even here, you've got to stop. But right now you're in your factory and I'm going to have everyone say hello first, but then we'll bring you out to the factory floor so you could show them right now how you've just answered the call and are making masks. And if you can show them what's happening in your factory where everyone's wearing their mask, that's why you have your mask on right now. And they're 6 feet apart, so they're staying safe. But thank you, first of all, just to kick this off before we jump in, is thank you for answering the call. Thank you for making the masks. Thank you for helping the people on the front lines. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, and we have Joshua Andros, another veteran, and Lisa Preston. Thank you for joining. Oh, Trinidad, you totally got this. We've got Josh.
Thank you.
my veteran buddy, much better with Zeb than Marine Corps. I'm assuming MC. What's MCRD? What's that stand for?
Yeah, the recruit depot there in San Diego. That's boot camp.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm definitely.
way less. And I love this elbow cough. Yes, that's the appropriate way to do that, Josh. and he says, great pivot, Trinidad. And the great calling says, yes, answer the call. Indeed. And my buddy, Grant Edens, hi, Deb, and thank your brother for your service. So we've got a lot of people thanking you for what you're doing. And then Joshua, let's see, do we get everyone on here? Oh, Veronica, I love this. I used to hide behind walls during filming. You're already doing better than me. She did a reality show. She was the number one reality show for Flipping Houses from Texas.
Oh, wow.
So this is coming from a pro. She was super nervous. Everyone's nervous.
Well, I'm hiding behind a mask, so I think that's what's helping. But it's doing two things. It's making sure that it's mandated here in our factory that we all wear masks at all times, and then I get to hide behind it. So, thanks, Joshua.
Yeah,
Hoorah.
It's funny too, because right now for your first live, you got to literally hide behind a mask. She hid behind walls. You've got a mask to hide behind. We're gonna hopefully get you out of the mask in a little bit. But David, hello, David. Thank you for joining. There's so many here, wonderful, wonderful friends that are here supporting, literally to support you, Trinidad. And what I'm excited about is your story, because your story is going to encourage a lot of other people, whether they're business owners who've joined and are pivoting in their business, because that's what you've done. I want to talk a little bit about that. And then David, you have a question. Am I using Ecamm? No, I'm using an amazing service called StreamYard. I'll drop that comment, or I'll drop the link after we're done with this. I love the guy who created this. Super easy for any of you who are going live on YouTube or going live on Facebook, or you want to stream to both services. It's literally just click, and you're there. And from a user perspective, like, this is your first live experience at all going on. But Trinidad, how easy was it for you as a guest to come on the show?
Oh, it was really, really easy. I mean, it's certainly grunt proof. So if I could do it, anyone can do it.
I love that. I was reading some of your comments on your Instagram, and those of you who are following people on the gram and you have an account, you can go follow him at Trinidad 3, the number jeans.
Yes.
I don't know how do you say the number 3, by the way?
Just the way it is. Trinidad, the number 3. Just Trinidad 3.
If you were to put your hands up as a symbol 3, would it be that? Would it be like Katniss 3? Would it be like that? Would it be like that?
Well, it depends. If you watched Inglourious Bastards, there's the German 3, the British 3. So typically we'll just go with the British 3.
The British 3. Okay. I think I learned that. What was it? Inglourious Bastards. That was the movie where that's what gave him away. Oh, sorry.
That's what gave him away. Yeah, that's what gave him away. So.
And then Joshua Andros says grunt proof, and then he asks infantry.
Yes, I was a machine gunner. That was my MOS when I was in the Marines. So I served with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines out of 29 Palms. And then after that, I did a duty out here in Los Angeles, 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines, active duty at a reserve station. So I was a machine gun instructor, and also trained the Marines and when they would come in, and our main duty was funeral honors. So honoring the fallen is really dear to me and part of my mission.
Now you had mentioned on a call the other day that is how you really got into speaking in public in front of other people. How many funerals did you say you've done?
I've done over 200 funeral honors, and then I learned how to speak at a Toys for Tot event. I just kind of got thrown in there. It was at Anaheim Convention Center, or Experian. And my staff sergeant and us, the whole staff, got asked to go up on stage, and he had the microphone. He froze, turned around, handed me the mic, and walked off. And that's how I got thrown into this. So Deb was a lot nicer. So thank you for that. And and I was able to learn how to speak in front of people forcefully. And after, I don't remember what I said, but I know when when I was done speaking, everybody stood up and started clapping. And then after that, the staff sergeant, my boss, saw that, and he said, "Well, you're going to be speaking at every event we have." So yeah.
That began your
that was,
mic drop. That began your speaking career.
Yeah, it did. And it's really helped me out quite a bit, because when I was a student at fashion school, I was the president of the Veterans Club. So we had a lot of events that we would do, and it was a lot easier to speak. So definitely that experience getting thrown in there was key.
Yeah. Oh,
Certainly
I love
key.
that you have some activity at your factory. So this is a great time
yes.
to introduce you to everyone joining in.
Oh, sure.
A bit about where you are, what's going on, and then let's go on your factory floor to see you making masks.
Sure. So yeah, currently I'm here in Huntington Park in Los Angeles. This is our factory, my office, and this is where our showroom is. So what's going on behind me is it's actually we make all our patterns in-house digitally. So it prints out the patterns for the garments that we're going to make. Right now, the garments are masks. So you can kind of see, I'm not sure, let me see here. Let me know if that's clear or not.
It is. It's great.
But those are all masks. And above it, you can see that's not pre-staged. This is actually my office. It's my uniform.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happening. Would you like to see a tour of the floor, and then we can get into chatting? Okay.
Definitely. Let's go take a walk.
So I'll take you all on a walk. I'll go ahead and flip the camera around in just a minute. So bear with me here.
Yeah, this is fantastic, and thank you for doing this, Trinidad. Again, jumping on, because I know you're super busy. You go from your day job to your designer job, and now you're making masks. And by the way, as you're taking us a walk, that is one of the jeans that he created. Or jean jacket.
I'm gonna flip this. So what's on hold is, as you can see, is our denim. This here is a new American denim from Battalion Mills. So this is a brand new mill that just opened up and is bringing back American denim. But as you can see, we have that on hold along with our jeans. So all of these are ready to go to the wash house. You'll see the red. This is inspired by our Marine Corps dress blues. So you'll see that throughout the collection. Throughout the collection, you'll see little details of red, and that's just me paying homage to those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. So, but now all the denim is set aside, and as you can see, we're now producing masks. So that's 100% what's going on here in our factory. You can see how we're practicing social distancing. By way more than 6 feet. So the whole production floor is just really spread apart, and that's what's happening right now all across. So, and we're just trying to do it as safely as possible. So, and these masks are going, they're shipping to New Jersey. These will all be finished by
as a Jersey,
they'll be heading out, and really, these are all getting donated. So this week we have 25,000 masks going out.
Wow.
So it's a project in partnership of Joanne's Fabrics.
Yeah, right.
And some of them are going to a hospital in Cleveland, and then as you can see, like in the background, just jeans. Which is mainly we had to switch all of our production over to be able to handle making masks, because that's all we would really produce is jeans here.
Right.
So that's something that's been that's a challenge for us because we've never done it before. But at the same time, it's just an honor to be able to see what's going on and then put all of our denim aside. So those are all future jeans behind me. We put all that aside to answer the nation's call again. Now, my managing partner, Joe Lafko, he's also a Marine. And when everything got shut down, we just, we had to find purpose again. And we heard the nation asking for masks and needing items, and so we went ahead and made a lot of phone calls, and just, we're a very small factory, but we pack a pretty big punch.
Yeah. Greg Ryder is asking, what part of Los Angeles are you making the masks and making the jeans when you can?
Yeah. The city is Huntington Park. Yeah, I just closed the door.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and unmask really quick.
He's no longer the masked man any longer. There's Trinidad.
Yay.
So a lot of comments coming in. Bless you for that. Thanks for answering the call. People are asking where you're coming in from. Andrew said that he almost went up to Fort Rosecrans to watch this. And Susie's asking, how long did you serve?
I was in for 8 years. So from 2008 to 2016. And then I spent 6 months in the reserves as well.
Okay. And then someone else was asking what your website is. It is Trinidad3, the number, .com.
Yes, exactly. Trinidad, the number 3. So what we've done on our website is we've built in a give back. So we're supporting Ventura County Relief Fund. And also our veterans are struggling right now with this time of isolation. So emerging vets and players, which is the tee that I'm wearing right now. They're doing an amazing job of every week getting veterans on a Zoom call. We do a workout together, and then from there we have an open discussion for about an hour and a half, and we're just there to support each other. So I'm also doing that, as well as other things. We've been giving masks to veterans and trying to do as much as we can. On the 15th, which is Wednesday, one of the veterans works with this organization that's delivering food to the disabled up here in the LA area, and they couldn't get any masks or hand sanitizer. So last week I donated masks and took them several liters of hand sanitizer. And this Wednesday, I'm actually going to be delivering some food. They gave me several drops, so I'll have another opportunity to continue to serve the community, which hands down is what just feels right. And as a company, it's what we stand for and we do. So a lot of the things that we do, we don't publicize. As you can tell, this is my first time going live.
I'm like, your story is amazing. This will inspire other people to do this. There's a lot of people who are just afraid. They're living in fear. There are a lot of people in need. There's a lot of people at risk. There's a lot of people that are hungry. And you were saying before you were delivering masks, food, like you started doing that. And then how did you get the call to start making the masks? How did that?
Well, it was in conjunction with the denim mill. They had reached out, and they knew that there was a big need. So a lot of the mills are being asked for fabric, or if they know anybody that can support at whatever level, because the need is really big in our country. So we're able to, answer that call. We were completely shut down. The moment that they said that the whole virus hit, we decided to just keep all our people safe and, do what our country is asking, which was to stay home. So that's exactly what we did initially. And then when we started to hear our country ask for masks, that's when we did a call to action. And, we also launched, we had made jeans before this whole COVID pandemic started, and we decided to launch last week a small capsule during everyone. A lot of people said that we wouldn't be able to sell any jeans or do any kind of business, and we've been shipping every day. We've been getting overwhelming support, which is just great. It just felt really good, and also to go against all odds, which is a reporter from California Apparel News had mentioned. She said all the brands are running from this, and you and Joe are going right into the fire. And I said, well, historically, as Marines, that's what we've done. And I think the worst thing to do right now is nothing. Even if we're staying home and being safe, there's something we can do as small as making a phone call to somebody who is having a hard time, to doing any kind of volunteer work for the needy, or there's always something we can do. And one opportunity we gave our customers, because several customers reached out and they said, what can we do? And, well, you can support us, and, we're out there doing things. So a lot of them have made purchases, and we've donated and put to work a lot more than what we've stated on our website. So.
And those of you who are home and working, whether that's normally something that you do, or if it's a new thing that you're remote working, hey, the new uniform is jeans. So go support Trinidad 3. Go to Trinidad.
Thank you.
Check out what he has, and it is a limited collection, right? Because everything kind of halted, even though you're made in the USA. You also then all of a sudden got halted, and now you're making masks. So like, here's the other thing, Trinidad, in marketing, there's a principle as far as scarcity and limited supply. Well, it's built in, people. So go over there. There's literally and honestly, your design and your jeans, your jackets. I have one of the jackets behind me, very unique. I love one of the guys that loves supporting you. Maybe talk a little bit about the people that just love you, because I think those are great stories. He was going to interview Bon Jovi, and I love that you're making masks that are going to Jersey, because I'm a Jersey girl, so love that. I heard that he was interviewing Bon Jovi. I'm like, does he need someone to deliver the jean jacket? Because I will personally get in my car, not far from LA. So yeah, your design, like. And I also want you to talk a little bit about when you were in the Marines and you were designing in the Humvee. That's a cool story. But yeah, really cool people are wearing your collection. It's starting to get out there. Your trailer. Tell us a little bit about the trailer, the new Netflix movie. Kind of walk us through who's wearing your stuff, because what you're doing is amazing, and I love that you've did it. But we also want to support our entrepreneurs, our veterans, our people here with small businesses. Trinidad is a startup, right? He hasn't been around forever. This is a very new thing for him, and then all of a sudden he gets thrown another crisis. So tell us a little bit about your story, some of the struggles that you faced along the way, and just kind of walk us through that.
Right. Well, initially, I'll just go back to before I joined, because I was chasing this dream back then, and similar thing happened. I lost everything, restarted my life. So I joined the Marine Corps. So the first obstacle was an actual obstacle course there at MCRD San Diego. So I was living there in San Diego for 13 weeks. And along my travels in the Marine Corps, I was really trying to decide what I was going to do post-service, because I was 31 years old when I joined, so I was considered very old. Most Marines join at 18. So I was older than the group, and I had to really plan out what I was going to do. So along my travels, the first time I got back into creative work, first time I was on ship, I was on the Harper's Ferry, and I got caught with a laptop doodling. I was designing T-shirts just as a way to kind of do what's happening now, because for Marines on ship, you're just pretty much on quarantine, because there's nothing for us to do there, especially infantry guys. We just, sit in the berthing, we work out. And so the staff sergeant saw me doodling. He said, "What are you doing?" I told him, "Nothing. I closed the laptop." And then from there, he made me open it. And then he was like, "Whoa, those are really cool." So then he had me design the platoon T-shirts. I then designed a plaque for the company commander, and then a plaque for the battalion, which is over at Camp Hansen in Okinawa. It's still up there.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
that kind of got my creative flow going somewhat. And then once I was over here at a duty station in LA, I had called my brother right before reenlisting. I called my brother, and he advised me just to stay in because the economy was still pretty bad. So I got these orders, and the last year and a half that I was there, I told my company commander that I wanted to go back to school. I'm getting a little bit older. A lot of the people my age at the time were retiring, ironically. And so especially being in the infantry, it beats up your body. So I knew I had some limited time there, and I told him I wanted to go to fashion school, and that just blew him the first sergeant, blew everybody away. They're like, you want to go what, where, and why would you want to do that? So then I had to explain to them what I wanted to do and why. And then I showed them, sketches and showed them stuff I did prior to serving. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, definitely you can, we'll allow you to go. But they gave me every weekend duty, every evening duty. I was put on, just everything that had to happen or they needed me for, I was on the list. So I missed a lot of class. Subsequently, that led into me designing in a Humvee. We were training over in 29 Palms for a couple weeks, and I had a bunch of homework. So I took my sketchbook, I stuffed it in my pack, and mind you, most Marines don't really get fashion too much. And most fashion people don't get Marines too much. So I was kind of in a lonely spot, but so I didn't want to draw too much attention to myself. So when the Marines would go down after training at night in my sleeping bag, I'd just have my flashlight and I'd be working on homework and doing sketches. On the way back, several times on Humvee, because man, they really load you with homework at fashion school. So there's photographs a couple of my buddies took of me like working on my homework coming on the way back. And
I feel we need those. I think we need those photographs. I don't know where they are, but I think we need them for the next show that you're on.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant Pinto, he's still in. He's got them, so I'm gonna hit him up. But again, I just trying to find myself and continue to find purpose. I knew I was going to transition out after about 8 years, so I wanted to get a jump on education. So I used the GI Bill while I was in. And so that was a chance of a lifetime, because as an infantryman, you never get an opportunity to go to school because you're always training in the field or you're deploying. So, so I took full advantage of that chance of a lifetime. And then all my buddies, they would call me the FITM Marine, which FITM is the acronym for the fashion school I was going to.
FITM, I love it.
Yep, FITM. And then while I was there, ironically, the admissions gentleman was a Marine as well. So he gave it to me straight, told me how things were going to go, and that really made me feel comfortable about the school. And they're very veteran friendly. So within 3 months, I became the president of the Veterans Club there, the Student Veterans of America FITM chapter, and then I held that for 3 years. And what happened? The second year, I was chapter of the month out of over 2,000 schools, and it was on their national website. So that's how the colonel found out that I was going to fashion school.
Oh, wow.
And so
He didn't know beforehand?
Yeah, so my command was just trying to keep it under the wraps. And then right after that, I got a letter of appreciation from Mayor Garcetti, 2 state senators, for stuff I did in the arts and Toys for Tots, and I kept skylining myself. And then I came out on KTLA. I was on Channel 5 News, and from there they're like, "Damn it, Garcia! Now we have to," the colonel found out, and I just said, "Well, it's just who I am. I can't hide it anymore." And so I ended up transitioning out because I wanted to finish my education. So I did, as soon as I got out, I served in the reserves, and then I did, I finished apparel industry management, and then I rolled right into advanced study in menswear. And then after that, I have a 3rd degree, advanced study in denim.
Oh, wow. I remember when I first met you and you're like, yeah, I have a degree in denim. I didn't even know this was a degree. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. And you had also said something about wanting to take sewing, and your dad really wasn't a fan of
since I was a kid. I was in 7th grade the first time he pulled me out of sewing class. And he's a Vietnam vet, so he comes in and he's like, "What the hell are you doing in sewing?" So he pulled me out, and I had just finished up a guitar. I made a guitar.
Oh, wow.
A plush toy. Yeah. And then high school came around, and in high school, 3 times he showed up with a counselor and pulled me out of sewing class. So it wasn't until FITM. And yeah, I just got interviewed earlier, or last week actually, and they asked me what came first, the sewing machine or the machine gun. And yeah, and so I said, well, it was supposed to be the sewing machine, but but it wasn't until FITM that I'm after the machine gun that I mastered that machine. So
yeah, it's quite the different machine, I would say. And my buddy Darren, actually right up the road, said FITM is well respected for design and fashion.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of designers that have come out of that school, and yeah, it was awesome. My proudest moment there is opening up a veteran center. So Ms. Holberg, the founder, she came in. It took me a couple years, but we finally got it done. And my uniform is still there. It's in a glass case, my dress blues. And now, actually 2 weeks ago, one of the students asked me that, that they mentioned that they outgrew the space and they want me to talk to the owner to get them a bigger space. So that's really, it's amazing now that I've had a moment to really reflect, because I've been going 1,000 miles an hour ever since I transitioned out, because I rolled right into school and then work. I still have a full-time job. I'm a contractor for the Navy, so I do that, and then after that I come over here to the factory. And
tell us what you do in your day job before you
my day job. I'm a marksmanship instructor, so I run a simulator and we teach M4, which is rifle, and then pistol. So we help the CBs and also the base police. We train the sheriff and a couple other units that run through there before they go out to live fire. So I'm still have 1 foot in, and yeah, which is really it's been really helpful for me on a lot of different levels.
So
it helps me deal with.
Go ahead.
So it helps me deal with some of the transitional challenges that we face as veterans. And there's a group of veterans there they're prior Marines, and we have one Army guy. He's a Green Beret. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. The support I've gotten from there, and then the chance to still be able to serve is, it's amazing.
Now, one of the things on your website, Trinidad3.com, for those of you who are tuning in now and wanting to get to know Trinidad and what his site is, you can go to Trinidad 3. He does have jeans and t-shirts for sale. It's limited because he stopped the factory for the jean production to make masks. Earlier, you saw him in his mask and on the factory floor. He's coming in right from his factory in LA. But tell us a little bit about what your mission is when you can get back to doing the jeans and not the masks. But you talk about #powering vets, and someone asked, well, is that empowering? And no, you said it's powering vets. So talk a little bit about what that mission is. And I know there are a lot of friends here on the call that have a similar mission as you, whether it's veterans or people in the mental illness community, people in domestic violence community. So tell us a little bit about your mission so that we can also support you in that.
Right. Well, we really felt that what we're doing, empowering is to us is like getting them support and getting them what they need initially to get moving. And we feel that we're powering them. We're actually moving. We're Oscar Mike. We're on the move. And we've aligned ourselves with and prided ourselves in doing that. And the way we do that is by simply leading by example is number one. So we have a large veteran following, and they're seeing that, we're following our dreams. Consistency, support, hiring veterans as well is another element of it. And also just creating a platform for them to be able to vent. I get calls, texts, emails all the time of veterans just reaching out and trying to find not only inspiration, but, sometimes I light a fire under their ass, and that's what they need, and we really understand each other. And the thing that they like about us is that we're a lot different than most veteran brands, in the sense that we're fashion first. If you look at the collection, you're not going to see, guns or camo on everything or anything like that. I'm really into fashion. and that's what I put out first. Now, if you start looking at details, you'll notice like, certain Marines have come into our pop-up, our trailer, and they start seeing the red waistband or the little red details, and then they start picking up on clues. But and others see it as like, oh, it reminds them of the red bottoms, Christian Louboutin, or certain elements that Gucci has.
Right.
So,
I'm
on your
Instagram,
quite a dynamic. Oh, sure.
Showing people, and I'm looking for the jeans because I know I've seen it in there before. But as I'm scrolling through, this is your trailer. Tell us a little bit about this because this is beautiful, and then tell us about the LA figures because I just saw a show on Netflix this weekend that I recognize this.
Yeah. So shout out to Stefan Oriol. They're number 5 in movies on Netflix, which is pretty cool.
Now I do it,
but the trailer.
Is that it? Is that correct, or is it the other way?
It's the other way. Yeah.
Fair.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Got to get used to that symbol.
And it's quite interesting, the whole story behind that. I'll share how I got the trailer because I was in service when I got it. I was training in Camp Pendleton. We were out in the field and I placed a bid on it. Oh, and when I came out of the field, I noticed that I won the bid. So I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. What I didn't realize is that I was in Camp Pendleton and the trailer was in Atlanta, Georgia. So I had to figure out how to get it over here.
How did you?
There's a app called UShip. So I had them ship it to my dad over in New Mexico, and then I drove out there and pulled it in.
Right on.
and then I brought it into the reserve station here in Pico Rivera. And it used to be an artillery unit, so there's plenty of space. So I just parked it in the back, and a bunch of Marines and I on our spare time started gutting it and working on it and polishing it, and a lot of work. And that was, as a designer, that was always a dream of mine. I wanted to have my clothes sold in a store, so I built my own store and made my dream come true.
No, this is. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful store. But that also reminds me of something you've done recently. As far as one of your dreams, you hit another milestone. Are we allowed to share that, or is that because I like breaking news show? So tell us a little bit about one of your dreams that recently came true. Although it's on pause because of this. But it's going.
Yeah. Well, we had. Yeah. What I can share with you is that we had a meeting with the headquarters of this department store that starts with a capital N, based in Seattle. And so I can share that part of it. And then, it was certainly a dream come true, right? To have the opportunity to go and present the collection to that company. And then we were up there on Wednesday.
Walk us through this journey, because it was a goal of yours for this department store, and then you fly somewhere, you have a meeting. Tell us the whole backstory, because you also faced a major obstacle again, and that's
another one.
Obstacle. So I think everyone on this call will appreciate what you went through, because we've all been there. We've all seen the struggle, and we want to encourage people to keep moving forward even when the roadblocks happen. So tell us a little bit about those roadblocks, because it's timely for such a time as this and what's going on right now.
Well, I'm not new to roadblocks in this business. I'll go back to the fires recently, because we used to do our pop-ups in Santa Barbara and Ventura. So we've been shut down because of the fires before. The last shutdown was, we actually had the trailer on the Malibu Pier when the Malibu fire hit, because we had a Veterans Day event that weekend, and it was Friday morning. I went to drop the trailer, and then the fire was coming up over the hill. So the trailer stayed there for almost a month on the pier, and I would just see it on the news amongst smoke. So I've been, there's been a lot of obstacles. And just yesterday, one of my classmates, Navy veteran, he said, "Hey, are you all right? Because I know you always hit obstacles." And he said, and I told him, what had happened. The recent one was, we were up in Seattle. We caught their attention at the trade show in Vegas. So we were, we got voted best showpiece 2020. And that was, thank you. And we caught the eye of that department store. And so meeting was set up for March 5th. I'm up there March 4th. Got up there at 10 in the morning. Got an email around noon saying they're excited to see us the next day. Just wanted to confirm. And then I get a phone call at 4:30 that my meeting was canceled due to coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of people got that email and that notice.
Right. And
Trinidad, just a second. I think your headset is hitting a keyboard or microphone. So
okay, I'll hold it. How's that?
Perfect.
And being up there, so we're up there, and I go over to the original Starbucks in the morning, and there's only 2 people in there. And I'm really, noticing that something is certainly happening. And of course, the first thing we're concerned about is everyone's health. And then from there, Joe and I just had to regroup in our hotel room. And, Nate Boyer was up there doing work for emerging vets and players. So we supported him up there, and then flew back. And when we came back, we were once again faced with an obstacle and a challenge, and which just being made here in the U.S. has been a challenge for us in the fashion world because our price points are a little higher because of labor and us wanting to do things the right way. And so we faced another challenge, and we had to really dig deep. So I talked to Joe, and I said, told him, and we both agree, like, we need to just stick to what we believe in. Right now, we need to focus on building relationships. And if we are about powering veterans, now is the time to do it, more than ever.
Yeah.
So we reached out to fellow veterans, and that's where, I donated masks, and we just started to make certain things for donation and get the veterans what they needed. And then that grew to Joe being really aggressive and trying to see where we can fit in this pandemic and where we can utilize all of our talents and kind of our resources to do something good.
Yeah.
So then that's where the masks came to be. I never thought I'd be making masks.
Yeah. But right. That's quite the pivot. And there's a lot of people these days that are making this pivot from their traditional, whatever they're making in their business. And they have to pivot, right? And you did this almost instantly. We have on the screen your Instagram with Nate Boyer interviewing Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Nate Boyer is such an incredible human being. He really inspired me I met him while I was a student at FITM back in 2015. And to see the work he's done with emerging vets and players and an organization called Water Boys, and his trajectory, his story is also just amazing. And he's been supporting us from day one. So,
tell us a little bit about emerging vets and players, because we're getting some questions about how they can support it and what is it. So Rich, and other veterans help IVP.
Yep. So Emerging Vets and Players was founded by Nate Boyer and Jay Glazer. Those of you who don't know, Jay Glazer is a commentator on the NFL, and he also commentates on Bellator. So their website is vetsandplayers.org.
I'm going to put this in here. So it's Vets and Players?
Yes, vetsandplayers.org. And what they do is they've noticed some transitional challenges with athletes once the uniform comes off, and also veterans once the uniform comes off. They both have some similar challenges, and we really miss the locker room, the camaraderie. So what they started doing is once a week over at Jay Glazer's gym out here in Hollywood, they work out. So we all sweat together. So my senior Marine, he's one of the original members. I got to work out with him once again. So I'm sitting there, doing push-ups with him. Yeah, there's AJ, another Marine. And it just really made me feel, like I was part of something again, and to be able to be with other veterans was just incredible. Because of everything, all the challenges that are going on. And then while we're there, there's professional athletes that are there as well. So we have players from the Galaxy, Rams, they go work out with us. During this time, what they did is they set up the workouts on Zoom. So we're able to, still stay connected, change the rhetoric of social distancing. So we're socially connected, physically distanced.
Yeah.
And,
that distinction, by the way. And ever since he started doing that, and you were telling me about that, that is how I've put it on social media, where it's not social distancing, right? It's social connection, but it's physical distancing. Because we've been more social than ever with everyone being online these days. So it's an important distinction. And for the vets and those of you on the line who are also vets, can identify with this and support this and agree with this. That you need that connection. You need a brother to talk to with when you're struggling and going through something. So yeah, tell everyone.
So there's a strong community, and like I said, what they're doing, which is amazing, is that they have accountability. I missed a meeting when I went up to Seattle, and the next day I got a message like, hey, we missed you. You doing all right? Anything you need. Same thing with when this pandemic hit and I was, hit a wall, and, they're teaching us to be vulnerable there. So I just let them know that I'm having a hard time with this whole isolation thing, and even, being with my family is, we kind of put that we make ourselves numb to family. And, so now I'm isolated, which is one of the worst things you can do as a veteran. And then, I'm trying to be there with family and trying to make sense of everything that's going on, and then just finding challenges. So within 10, 15 minutes of the phone call, I had 3 veterans call me, and one of them's a successful real estate agent. Actually, a couple of them are, so they're in business, and they've, also facing similar challenges. So now we've really built a really strong community. And then one of our athletes who he played for the 49ers, played for the Raiders, and he went through some things, and he just got reinstated. He signed a 1-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. And so I got to meet, as veterans, we get to see people that we, looked up to, and they were like our heroes to get our minds off of our missions we had while in service. And, it's safe to say that a lot of veterans are into sports. So and just to see, also Olympians that are there, professional soccer players, and just all different people that are going through something similar consistently it's amazing, hands down. And that's why Nate's been inviting me to go there for the last, since they started, and I just recently started going, and man, it really has been really pivotal in my trajectory now.
So Nate, it reminded me of the story, and as I'm scrolling through your Instagram, he was on the Super Bowl commercial right before the Super Bowl started. Right?
Yeah, and that's our jacket.
Yeah, I love this. I love this.
Yeah, Nate's horrible with fashion, so I dress him up. Yeah, exactly. So he came in, and he came in, and he called me. He says, "Hey, Trinidad, I got a call from Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, and I have to interview Bon Jovi." So then I was like, "I got you, man. Come here. I don't want you to look stupid out there." So so I gave him the right piece.
Right? He loved what he's wearing.
Oh, Bon Jovi. Yeah. Bon Jovi asked him like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" And he was like, "Dude, Bon Jovi liked my outfit, and he wants a jacket." And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
No kidding.
So,
when Bon Jovi likes fashion, that's the ultimate thumbs up.
Yeah. So Nate Boyer, an incredible story too. He was an Army Green Beret, played for the Texas Longhorns, and then he got drafted to the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, that's incredible. He never played football growing up.
Yeah.
So, and to this,
tell people that are watching how he learned to play football, because this is fantastic.
Yeah. He actually he learned because he was a long snapper, so there was an opportunity. He didn't even know what a long snapper was, but there's a chance he can make the team. Yeah. So then he learned how to, in essence, how to hike the ball to the kicker. And he was watching YouTube videos, and he learned in Afghanistan on deployment.
Watching YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
from Afghanistan, and he becomes a long snapper. Like, that's an incredible story.
Yeah. He started every game, and then from there he got drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, and he played in a preseason game, and then he was cut. And so once again he hit another transition wall. So he's really inspired me from day one.
And this is his a clip from his YouTube commercial.
Yep.
I love it. Like, see, you can learn anything on YouTube, even being a long snapper. That's just crazy. I just love it. I love it. Oh, and I was asking, yes, this is one of Trinidad's shirts. This is one of the shirts you designed, right? Yes. And this for Abbott Group.
The Sabo. The Sabo Group. So that's a race-inspired T-shirt that I designed for them. And it's going to segue. That's kind of a sneak peek of what I have brewing right now for 2021. So we're going to have some race-inspired stuff. And I'm really excited. Really, really excited about that. So during this time too, it's been, my outlet creatively to design, watch movies. I've been studying other designers that really inspired me. Ralph Lauren, John Barbados, and Tom Ford. Those are my favorite designers. And to really, study them once again. I studied them when I was in school, but to still see them like doing things is really inspiring. And even here in our factory, we've made jackets and jeans for Tom Ford. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Who was the guy that came into one of the shops and picked up and I don't know if it was that jacket itself.
Oh yeah, it was that one. So
that's great. And then I also want you to talk about one of the most unique jeans. Yes, unique jeans. We're going to talk about that story as we.
Sure. So the gentleman that purchased that jacket that's behind you in the lighter version of it is Pierre Paucolo Paculi, and that gentleman is the creative director for Valentino. So he was in Los Angeles, and our products, our jeans were sold in a store on Abbot Kinney in Venice. So he was there shopping. It's a well-known area. If you're ever out in LA, you got to run through Abbot Kinney. And the store owner told me that he came in with his friends. So she was in awe. I mean, she has Valentino Birkenstocks. That's how much of a fan she is. Yeah.
I didn't think there was something.
Yeah, there was. And if you see the price, you'll flip. But anyways, she was blown away. So they did private shopping. They walked through her store, and she's been on Abbot Kinney for over 20 years. And he saw the jacket, tried it on, loved the fit, and he purchased it. So she called me frantically. You'll never believe, who bought your jacket. And she was too starstruck. She forgot to get a picture. But he took a picture right outside of her store on Abbot Kinney Boulevard the day he purchased it. But she told me, she says, follow his Instagram. He loved it. He was going crazy over it. It's going to surface. And sure enough, he wore it to work. He was filming his campaign shot with Kendall Jenner here in Los Angeles. And he was wearing the jacket while he was filming his campaign, and he had put it up on his Instagram. So I recorded it, and it's on our Instagram. So that was amazing to have like the top designer in the world. And he was designer of the year last year. He's in Time Magazine, most influential people last year. I mean, he's an icon, right, in fashion. And to have him, buy a jacket from, a grunt, a Marine, was pretty incredible. And then wore it to work. He wore it to work. Like I thought I'm going to see a picture of him like at a restaurant, or somewhere walking his dog. He wore it to work. So I was like, man, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's not a stamp of approval from one major designer to another. Like, I think you're onto something there, Trinidad.
Yeah, I think so. You can't fool that guy, and especially us designers, we're really picky.
Yeah.
And especially, for us to wear another brand,
I'm gonna
is,
grab that 'cause I
yeah,
don't
it's
unattach my.
because there's something that we really, really love about it, or we're supporting for a certain, but I've never met him. So he liked it, based off of the design and the fit. So that was, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I may have to walk with Mike because my
Yeah,
headset and
that's
this foot.
true, Rich.
Oh, here
Yeah.
we are
Oh,
all down. But I
there
just
at
want
fashion school, I was the only 03 that, was there as a student.
yeah,
A lot of admin and a lot of other MOSs there.
I love
But
Rich's comment there. Where it's so weird to
yeah,
hear 3 talk about fashion design and how good stuff. What's an 03? Tell us civilians that don't know what.
yeah, 0300 is the MOS code for infantry field. So that's where, so what he's saying is it's weird to hear an infantryman talk about fashion. And yeah, I get that all the time, but I'm educating all these stupid grunts. So.
Oh, and then Susie, it was either Susie or Cynthia. I think it was Susie. She said, "Oh, here it is. Yes, it is Susie. They're twins. I love them. They started like a live stream dance show when this quarantine came on. But she said there's probably some young folks who would love an internship with you and your company. You make an ideal mentor, Trinidad."
Oh, thank you, Susie. I really appreciate that. I don't see myself as a mentor. I just move forward and, I stick to what I believe in. And one thing that a Navy veteran told me just yesterday, he said that he wasn't surprised that, obstacles come and I just keep jumping over them. Yep, there's that luxury.
Tell us a little bit about these buttons because they're really cool. I remember when I heard about them, but then when I saw them in person, they were super cool. Tell us what they're made out of.
They're brass gunmetal plated brass buttons. So that's like obvious. The gunmetal is pretty obvious where that inspiration came from. But I wanted to add a touch of luxury. It's fashion, and there are certain things that you need to do to really bring out the piece. And I call it refined ruggedness. So that was my touch of luxury to this fabric that in essence is workwear.
Oh, just lost your, is that me or did we just
No,
lose
that
you?
was, okay. I'm back. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, refined ruggedness.
Yes. So the whole collection is really roots from refined ruggedness. So I take elements like a workwear denim, and I turn it into something or have elements of luxury in it. And that's where those buttons certainly are that touch of luxury, along with like the
design of it is unique on the back. Like that's one of the things I loved. Were just the shape of it. It's not your normal straight shape, which is super cool.
No,
you've got talent here. No,
thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that's a pretty popular element. So in essence, what I did is I took a motorcycle jacket and I took a denim jacket and just married them.
I love. Yes.
Yep.
It's
So
leather
there's
jacket.
guys that ride. Yeah. And then I call that the Dean jacket, and that's named after my buddy Dean. I was with him. He's another infantryman, a 0351, and he actually he died on a motorcycle post service. So I named a lot of the pieces. I name them after veterans that I've served with. So again, it's just kind of keeping his memory alive, and he was one of the first ones to tease me on me being into fashion there at School of Infantry, because when we were let out one weekend, we got a chance. We had 24 hours to roam around, and I had taken one of my leather jackets and my jeans, and one of the combat instructors was like, "Who the hell do you think you are? You think you're Armani or Versace or something?" And I told him, yeah, I just told him no. And then from there, Dean just kept giving me a hard time on that,
Speaking of other people that you have named certain fashion pieces, tell us a little bit about this gentleman.
So that gentleman, that is the gene that I am most proud of.
So for those of you who are maybe not paying attention yet, or you just joined in, we're with Trinidad III. He went from machine gunner to fashion and sewing machines, and he's a designer. You can check him out at trinidad3.com. His Instagram is Trinidad3Jeans. That's his Instagram. And this is actually from his Instagram account. And this story of what you did just takes the cake as far as you and as a designer, but also when form meets function, just take the next level. And I don't know a single other designer like you who has been able to create what you created. So, so tune back in if you're multitasking. Such a powerful story for Trinidad to share this. Go ahead. Tell us about
Yeah. So I'll give you what was happening during that time. I was really challenged. This was in November, December timeframe. We were, just taking hits, and I'd just gotten my truck repoed. I got kicked out of my warehouse, and was just going through a dark time. And again, every time I get into that, I just resorted to what I really believed in, and that's powering veterans. I had met Josue Barone at a Merging Vets and Players event. He's the gentleman that was up in the picture. And he had walked up and saw the collection that I was showing, and really loved the jeans, but expressed that he could not wear the jeans because he has a prosthetic leg. He lost his leg in Afghanistan and has not worn jeans or a comfortable pair since 2010, since he lost his leg. So once again, I dug deep and I said, well, maybe there's something we can do. And the challenge was, to design something that was going to be on trend and not, because anybody can build a hospital pant. That's the easy part. And during this dark time, I borrowed a car and I came over to the factory, and I had him come in. I observed him. I measured him, and then I knew that it was either going to be, a complete success, or it can easily go the other way. But it was a chance I was willing to take. And so I designed the Barone jean, and he came in. We measured him on a Tuesday. On Thursday, I had the first sample done. So 2 days later, I call him in, and he was surprised because there's a lot of companies that have offered to make him things, and he said no one's really come through. So he comes in with his wife, and to see the impact that jean made in his life, because from there, he shared with me on Christmas Eve, he went to dinner with his family, and he said he was able to wear jeans out in public because every time he sits down, he has to remove his leg because it's really high, the prosthetic, it goes really high, and it's painful for him. So imagine every time you sit up and down, you have to remove your leg. That's several times a day, and why he just wears shorts. He said it's easier for him to access his leg. So I designed that jean, and then from there, we actually showed it, and we showed it in Vegas, and he showed up. He drove himself. He lives in Temecula, so he drove himself, and he showed up to support us. And one of the lady actually that's interviewing me in that picture, she's an author of Denim Dudes and Denim Dudettes. She sees me and Josue Barone, and she sees his jean, and she right away she said, "That's a really cool jean." And he kind of smiled a little bit, and then I told her name's Amy. I said, "Hey, Amy, there's there's a story behind it." And she said, "Really? What is it?" I said, "Well, he's an amputee." And she said, "Really? Which leg?" And I wish I had a camera to record his expression. But I will share with you what he told me after. And he said that for the first time since he lost his leg, that he felt normal. And through this whole process, I had told him, Barone, I'm designing you this jean. Don't post anything. This is just something that I wanted to do for you. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. But I just want to help you out, man, from one Marine to another. And he appreciated the sincerity, and most importantly, he just told me, like, it really changed his life, and to be able to do that with a pair of jeans. And then I utilized the fabric from Vidalia Mills. So it's the comeback of, American denim, because historically the denim mill was white oak, and they were open for over well over 100 years, and they finally shut down. So it was hard to source American salvage denim now. So they bought all their machines, and the very first jean that I made was for him.
Wow.
And we showed it out in Vegas, and people were stopping by on the aesthetic. They had no idea that it was inspired by an amputee. And I think that's, I mean, honestly, like, you know, after that point, I felt if I don't sell another jean again, I'm okay. Like, I accomplished my mission, you know, and I can say that I was able to impact, well, one of my Marine brothers. He's also an infantryman. He's an 03. And yeah, that by far. And he, you know, he's just been, from what I hear from him and his wife, it just impacted him so much. And he asked me if he can model. He said, "Hey, can I be your model?"
Yeah, he's sexy model here. This is like on the front page of Herald News.
Yeah, he was on the front page, and he's in better shape than I am. He's an athlete. You know, he competes in the Invictus Games. He represents the United States.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just an incredible, another incredible story.
Yeah.
And the fact that I had the opportunity to design something on trend, and a lot of the runway in Paris and things that are going on in the fashion world, they're incorporating zippers on a lot of jeans and pants. So it's trending.
Yeah. Like, so you won an award. I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but you won an award for this particular jean at that show. And meanwhile, that wasn't like you were designing it to be a cool jean, but to serve a function. And yet it wound up being the most, trending, cool, fashionable.
Best showpiece. Best showpiece 2020. Yep. And, you know, we have G-Star, Tommy Jeans, a lot of large companies that were there. So right. We made it, and it was incredible because, like I said, we just put the jean on a mannequin, and I mean, we didn't tell anybody and what was, you know, what it was about. So he saw that people were stopping by on the aesthetic, which again, that to me is, we're fashion first, right? And that's the face that I want to enter. That's my new MOS. So I went from 03 now to Nate Boyer calls me 18J, which is a special force MOS, but J is for jeans. So he gave me an army code.
I like it.
Yeah, Army Special Forces, but designing jeans. So
your big fans. That's one of the jeans. That's another jean jacket that you created. And I love that you made an impact on one person and another person. Like you just keep doing that in your business. And I love that you're like, yes, my mission is accomplished, but we want you to succeed as an American designer, as a fashion designer, former Marine, right? So we want to get behind you to support you. People are asking how to support you. So go to Trinidad3.com. So it's the number 3, Trinidad 3, because it stands for Trinidad Garcia III. I also like the fact that it's got this third pocket that you can put your cell phone in the jeans, another unique factor. But go grab a t-shirt, tell another veteran, tell a friend, doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. It's refined ruggedness. And I see even women here that are going to go buy your t-shirts, even though you have clearly design that's, you know, for this refined ruggedness for men. But I think all the women are going to support you with t-shirts.
Oh, it's a super soft t-shirt. Yeah, their t-shirts are Pima cotton. They're made here in Los Angeles. Just it's super comfortable. I got to tell you, like, I know I'm a little biased, obviously, but man, it's been one of the most comfortable tees. And even our tees, Dominic Cruz, the UFC fighter, he trains in our tees, and I've seen a lot of posts of him on his story. Yeah, there he is. There is his. Yeah, if you go up a little bit off to the left, that came out on ESPN. To the left of Nate Boyer's. Yes, that one. Yep. So that video that actually aired on ESPN. He's got a show where he breaks down fights, and on the back it says Trinidad 3. On the front it says Ready for All. Yeah.
So it's comfortable and rugged. I love it.
Yeah, they love it. So, and I don't ask any of the athletes to wear anything. You know, I like. There's Rudy Reyes, another incredible human being. He's a Marine recon, so he's a special forces guy, and he was in an HBO special called Generation Kill. He played himself. This was in 2008. So, you know, a lot of us that are into military stuff, and we have our heroes, and, you know, for some of us, it may have been Rambo. For me, during the time, it was actually Rudy, because he was just really in shape, and he was a Marine, and just like a Marine that I wanted to be like. So fast forward till now, I mean, to see one of my heroes, you know, in our gear, is just incredible. You know, it really is. I'm speechless. So moving forward, how people can help out, yeah, certainly, you know, support us in what we're doing. It's as simple as buying a T-shirt, you know, buying a jean, checking out supporting the organizations, merging vets and players, and others that we're connected with. We're going to continue to do it. This is what we've been doing. Like, I've been doing all this with pretty much nothing. I mean, I still have a full-time job. So, but it's just been, it's very rewarding. And I just thank you for the opportunity to share my story. And again, I'm knowing that by allowing, you know, others to join our mission simply by just buying a T-shirt or buying some jeans, it just really keeps us moving, and we're going to just keep going.
So 2 questions. One, we're going to pull up from Cristobal in a second. But before we do that, those of you who are watching live and those of you who are watching the replay, drop in the comments if you want to hear more from Trinidad, more videos on his Instagram, on his other sites. We're going to try to get him to do a YouTube channel. I don't know if we can do that or not. We'll see. But drop it in the comments if you want to hear more from him, if you're inspired by his story, because I love that, you know, you've hit some of those milestones, but I think more people need to hear your story, Trinidad, and you inspire people. You show people that you can transition from military life to civilian life, and from civilian life to business life, right? Like, the things that you've accomplished are incredible. So go ahead and drop that if you're here with us live. If you're watching the replay, drop that in the comments. And then the other thing too is just continual expansion. So again, those of you, ways to support him, you can go buy a jean, go buy a T-shirt. Every time he comes out with a new fashion. Oh, and I want to talk about one of the other new things, because it came up in one of our groups, the remote worker groups. People are, someone asked if they wear jeans every day now that they're working from home, and overwhelmingly people wore jeans, which is shocking because like yoga pants, right? A lot of people will, because it's their uniforms. I feel like it's the new working man's uniform, especially with all the people working at home now, and maybe at least another month. But you created something pretty unique. It's like a sweatpant kind of jeans pant. Is there anywhere that I can show that, or just tell us?
Not yet, but it's a Japanese selvage, and it's a French terry. So it's a French terry selvage fabric, super, super soft. You can run in these quote unquote jeans, and I'll send you some pictures. Right now we're completely shut down, so we're not able to produce them, but as soon as the lights turn on, we're certainly going to, you know, put those into production for, you know, it's just, it's so, the people that put it on, like Nate was one who tried it on. And one of our models, Alejandro Montesino, I had to almost wrestle him to take him off, because they didn't want to take him off. And he shot, we took a couple of pictures of Alejandro with the motorcycle jacket and those pants, those quote unquote sweatpants. And I mean, they certainly look like you cannot tell that they're sweatpants. So that's going to be really exciting for this fall.
Definitely. You know? I wish your factory didn't have to stop, because I feel like everyone would buy that right now. Everyone.
Right. I know. But the T-shirts, are a start and are available. And then it's the right thing to do. You know, we have to stay disciplined and pretty much follow the guidelines. And you know, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we have somebody in here sewing some jeans. You know, it's just not right. So we're gonna
go ahead. Well, I want you to tell us about this, because I feel like this is someone that I just saw. And I'm like, so those of you who are looking for another Netflix awesome show to watch, LA Originals just watched it on Sunday night. And the trailer starts off with Snoop Dogg saying, "If you were shot by Esteban Oriol," and I don't know exactly how to say his name, so you might be able to. My nephew Stefan. So I have a tendency to Stefan. So it's Estefan. But if you haven't been shot by a Stefan, you're nobody or something like that. At first I thought he meant shot, like shot. And then I realized he meant photographed. And is
Photograph.
this photographing your model in your jeans?
Yeah. Well, I can say that
you're the man. You've been shot
Esteban. Well, not only that, I shot Esteban. I took that picture.
Oh.
So I got one up on Snoop, you know. So
Estefan shooting someone else.
Yeah. So yeah, the beauty of it is, that was over shot at the shooting range, ironically, where I work. We brought the trailer. The gentleman, that's my buddy Adam. He's another machine gunner veteran. So we incorporate veterans as models.
Yeah, I love
on a lot of our shoots. And Esteban he's just a legend. I mean, that guy has shot everybody. And when I mean everybody, I mean everybody. Robert De Niro, Anthony Bourdain, in the hip hop world, pretty much everybody. Kobe Bryant, there's Nipsey Hussle, 50 Cent, Eminem. He was a tour manager for Blink 182. And I mean, he just an incredible, raw, talented photographer.
Yeah.
Truly an LA legend. I mean, he shot Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, and we had the opportunity to shoot with them. The Sabo group gave us that opportunity. And there's my buddy Danny. Yeah. That's our shoot right there. So that's all Trinidad III. And the owner of that vehicle, he's a Navy veteran. And then Danny, he's a Purple Heart recipient. So he got hit with the grenade in Iraq. Wow. And he's one of our models. So he's wearing all Trinidad III, and he has the iconic LA fingers on his collar, the little. Yeah. So now you'll see the pin.
Yeah. That's awesome right here. Yeah. Wow.
So I asked Esteban, hey, is it okay if I, utilize the LA fingers on one of the pieces? He was like, sure, go ahead. Your stuff's cool.
Nobody do that.
Yeah.
Nobody. That's
and then,
man, that doesn't make you smile.
Oh man. Yeah. And then to see like his video or his movie come out on Netflix. And then today I saw it was number 5 in movies in Netflix, and it just came out on Friday. Yeah, it's been incredible. I talked to Esteban on Saturday, I congratulated him, and I was like, wow, that's we're part of a pretty elite group. Like Snoop said, if you haven't been shot by Esteban, you haven't shot. So and so we had the LA fingers wrapped on the trailer. Same thing, because we do a lot of pop-ups at Hollywood Night Market and here in Los Angeles. We do the Rose Bowl Flea Market, Venice, and whatnot. So I figured there's only a few places that you can buy his T-shirts and merchandise. You can buy it at LAX. There's one store on Melrose in Hollywood, and then his website, obviously, and then our trailer.
Right.
So so a lot of tourists, would come in, and even Matt Beatty, he plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's one of our brand supporters. He didn't know where the LA fingers came from or where it originated. So I educated him on that, and then you can see it there at the end.
So this is Trinidad's trailer. This is where
it's a 68 Airstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gutted it and turned it into a mobile men's store, and there's a barber chair in there, so we cut hair in there sometimes.
That's so cool. So you have Empower Veterans here, your Trinidad III. This is such a sweet shot. I love this car. And then you've got the fingers, the LA fingers right here.
The LA fingers, So I just asked Esteban, I said, hey, is it okay if I, put the LA fingers on the trailer? And he's like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
And, with Esteban, he's, he's just a nice, amazing human being, and just so talented. Yeah, just talented.
Here with but it might have been just on the side. I thought I had another.
It may have been on the story.
Maybe. That's probably where. Yes.
Or another picture that you had. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible though. You should be proud of yourself, Trinidad. You've accomplished a lot. You've made it when he shot you, and then the designer comes in and says yes, he gives a stamp. You've got to know you've made it, and now it's just a matter of getting the marketing, getting that support.
Right.
You now you see dozens of entrepreneurs here that have stayed with us the entire hour to hear your story,
thank you.
see your designs. It's super impressive. We'll definitely have you come back, and we want to follow your story along the way. We want to have you back as a regular guest, but I also want to just encourage you to do more videos, do more live. This was easy, right? This was no sweat.
Yep.
Was it? Or
No sweat. It was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed it. And then just to get the feedback and see, people's reactions to this. And again, all I'm doing is just continue to find purpose. Just stick to what you believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cristobal. Yeah, definitely. We do. Yeah, we manufacture for other brands here in our factory. So certainly, 424, first 2 seasons of Fear of God, Sandrine Rose. We've done Helmut Lang, Tom Ford, just to name a few. And Trinidad 3 is. I met the factory owner when I was a student back in 2015. So
Wow.
I've interned here, and now I help them with some production stuff, and then we develop and make Trinidad 3 here, which earlier I showed you guys our actual denim rolls. So those are all future jeans.
Yeah. So I want to connect you with Cristobal. If you're still in here, Cristobal, if you want to make a comment, we'll make sure we get you guys connected or have a chat. Because he just got in, I think, to REI. So for him, that was the big thing.
Wow.
And then being halted with coronavirus, right? Like, we're in, halted for, right? Same thing happened to him. So he's having to pivot, he's having to pause. So I want to connect you guys, because again, if it's something that he can't get the material because it's overseas, and you guys can connect because you've got an American factory, like that might be a great little merger there for you to produce products.
Yeah, I think Made in USA is certainly going to make a comeback. I've been fighting that for a few years. We just hit our 3-year mark on doing this. So I started, I was a student when I started this business, selling my homework at the Rose Bowl. Ironically, I'd show up Monday and my professor was like, okay, where's that denim shirt? Or I made a few denim dresses and I sold them at Sunday at the Rose Bowl. I sold them.
That is awesome. That is awesome. What I may do is we may stop this show here, but I want to stay in. And if you can stay in Trinidad, we may stop the broadcast here, but we're going to go into another room and connect the two of you and have a chat. And then we want to share it on video. Maybe there'll be some cool tips. If not, it'll just stay private. But perhaps we'll bring the both of you on. But I wanted to make sure that I connected you guys, because again, this is a time where every business owner needs to pivot, right? Figure out how we can pivot and how can we help one another. And you've done that. You've risen to the call. You're making masks in your shop now. You're making things happen. It's impressive. So we thank you. We honor you. We thank you for your service. A lot of people were jumping in just because they were also veterans and they wanted to thank another veteran for their service. And now we thank you for your service making masks as a denim designer. If you're joining in late, this is one of the coolest jean jackets I think I've ever seen. That's one of his designs. Go check him out. Go follow him. Give him love. Give him those likes on the Instagram, on the gram. So go to Trinidad 3, the number 3 jeans. That's his Instagram account. And then if you go to Trinidad3.com, that's his site. Go check him out. Give him some love. Go buy a pair of jeans. Go buy a t-shirt. That's all you're going to be wearing anyway for the next month. And hey, comfortable uniform to wear. So
I promise you, and I'm warning everybody, it could be your new favorite t-shirt.
Yeah, this is super soft. And the other one, white tee, is even softer. It feels like
those are the Pima cotton ones that we now have in 5 different colors. That is by far, it's deadly. Like that, they're super soft.
You can sleep in them. It's like the t-shirt that you wear over and over until it's comfortable and it's your favorite t-shirt, but then it's like, it looks like it's your old t-shirt. So it's like a new t-shirt, but has old, nice, comfy, warm stuff.
Exactly.
So
and then the jeans that we released are all stretch denim, which is new for us. I stayed away from stretch until now, and so we're solid.
Yes. I'm wearing stretch right now. Of course, these are girl jeans, so it's a little different. One day I'm going to get you to make girl jeans, but
it's happening.
The boys,
it's happening.
These days. Oh, it is. Is it happening?
2021. 2021.
There you go, Susie. There you go, Susie. You and your twin can wear the matching jeans. And then you also have in the fall coming out, it's a sweatpant / jean?
Sweat patch jean. Yep. So it's got a jean construction. It looks like a jean, but they're actually sweatpants. Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
I love it.
This Japanese mill is one of the top mills in the world. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me that, yeah. And while I was a student, I got a chance to visit the mill as a student. So I get an inside plug there. I get to get my hands on some really cool stuff. So
Greg Ryder, we might have you in this next chat too. We're going to go into like a little private mastermind chat, whether we share it live, I don't know. But if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, please do so. If you're watching me on Facebook, a lot of the comments and a lot of the support and love is going on the new YouTube channel. I just hit 100 subs. It's a brand new channel. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't and you want to stay my friend, go and hit that sub button. And it's free. I talked to my dad the other day, and I found out we did like a Zoom family call, and he had to leave our Zoom family call because someone called him. We're like, hello, we're kind of in a meeting here. And we overhear him saying that he is a professional YouTuber, my dad. When he comes back on the Zoom call, I'm like, what? He has a YouTube channel? No, his idea of a professional YouTuber is someone who watches YouTube videos. So I want those professional YouTubers. So those of you who are watching, thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving Trinidad support. Go give him some love. Give him those hearts on all of his Instagram pictures. Ryder says that they've sold over 2 million in jeans in the last 12 months. I hope I can help with some ideas. So he is wanting to jump on this mastermind with Cristobal, you, myself. He's got a lot of tips to share with you. So let's make you.
Oh, thanks, Craig. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to end this broadcast on YouTube. I'll let you say your goodbyes. Also, emerging vets and players, go support them as well. Doing phenomenal things for vets, for athletes transitioning into just kind of normal life. Although those of us these days, Trinidad, no one has a normal life right now. So
right, we're all in this together. So there's stuff that we can learn from each other, which is why I love doing these things. Now, telling my story, and we can all connect in certain aspects. And if I can inspire somebody to do something, doesn't matter at what level, or at what, it's something, and it feels good, and it keeps you going. It keeps you something to continue to look forward to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then I'm copying.
And if I could do it, anybody can do it.
And then it looks like I can.
So thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to hear me run my mouth about what I'm doing.
Love your story. Now we've got one more
Thanks,
video.
Sam.
Is that a deal? Is that a deal?
That's a deal.
All right, shaking.
Let's keep it going.
This is a safe shake. We're shaking. Official now. You shook on public TV there. Thank you, Trinidad 3. Cristobal, Greg, stay on. We're going to connect you here with Trinidad in a moment. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for staying for the whole show, and thank you for showing him love in the comments. Was that encouraging, Trinidad, when they?
It was really encouraging. Thank you. That I really appreciate everybody's comments and engaging. I was really nervous doing this in the beginning, but seeing the interaction and the support has been it's been awesome. So yeah, definitely, we'll keep it going.
Easy. This is easy, right, Trinidad? Thank you so much. Aloha. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
You stay though. Okay, don't go anywhere. Okay. All right, we're ending the broadcast.